Hello there, Golf Freak here, and welcome back to Let's Play of Civilization 7, and there's no audio because the game isn't selected. There we go. Anyway, if you guys want to see more, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get down to it. So, we unfortunately are entering the narrative choice. I don't know if that... I'm assuming that means that these won't go through. It ended a turn earlier than I wanted. But it's telling me I can choose production, which is interesting. So let's see, what can I complete in one turn? Just to prepare the plantation? Sure. You're now free from the plague. You're building the monument. Hopefully that will go through. There's a couple things I want to take note of before we go to the next stage. So first off, we get a little over 2,000, so 2,600. And of... comparing everyone else, we've also shot way ahead in science compared to the others. Partially because I've taken a lot of their cities. I have those cities in the game currently. I have a ton of culture. Here, interestingly enough, Harriet Tubman has the most culture, which is interesting because Xerxes was the one that seemed to be being more cultural with all the wonders. But we seem to be doing pretty good. So we'll go ahead and start our narrative choice. We will carry on our legacy. So it looks like this turn will actually end. Actually, there's a question. Is this at... oh, it's at 199 of 200. That's why. All right, so we can grow our city. Doesn't really matter. We'll just grab you. Okay, next turn. So we finished that milestone just in time. This most request in antiquity. So we've gotten culture. We didn't get this because I think this messed up. So I have 9 wonders, or I needed to build one more wonder before the game ended, but it just it didn't count the one that it was supposed to, which sucks. We got military, we're well behind in science compared to the others, but that's fine. And then economic we finished up, and economic is kind of the important one.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Alright, so... it's good.
There is geometry in the humming of the strings.
The age completely filled. At the end of this turn, antiquity is given away to the exploration age. You enter an age transition during which you will choose how the Greek civilization will evolve and legacy combat stage will be. History building layers, yada yada. Okay, so antiquity age, pantheons, your current government sees trade routes and diplomatic relations are replaced by new forms unique to the exploration age. Your commanders will persist to the next age and some units will remain and upgrade the exploration counterparts. The first few journeys ending. Yeah, alright, so so first thing I need to do is migrate works. Because we definitely want that. So these actually go away. But the implication, at the very least, from the victory science was that I get +1 science for every codex and antiquity. So that should be a decent chunk. So I can basically get half of the science from these. So we're definitely going to have a bit of a drop off there. Yeah, you can't. We could build these buildings, but it seems kind of pointless because they're not going to get their adjacency bonuses, so it seems very pointless. And what can I build in 2 turns? 2 culture, 1 influence. Now I can build these, go figure. Oh well. There's no reason not to slot one in instead of the market. It doesn't seem like it'll be finished in time. We don't have navigation yet, that's funny. Narrative choice. Ambition drives innovation. With still so much to discover and explore, mastering that skill becomes the work of a lifetime. The Tech Wrangler. Mastery is found through one meticulous research or 200 science. Well, how much science does this cost? This costs... do they have a science cost? They don't tell me the science cost. That's annoying. Well, we're making 87, which means that this is close to 400, so it's not going to be helpful to us to pick the science. The codex, though, will give me at least 1 science per turn, and that's over here. In fact, we're going to move this over here, because why not? Then we can choose a civic. We get future civic too late. I don't think... So it does give boosts. Good to know. So that's the benefit of going down the road. But it's actually kind of crazy because I felt I was very cultural this game and I still didn't finish the cultural tree. Which is a little annoying if I'm to be honest. Yeah, what can I complete in 1 turn? Nothing much. I can just pop the walls there. Hopefully I get a building I can build here and that'll let me build out over here. Resource assignments available, but also not important. Although... No, it's a city thing. There we go. Nice little boost in gold. We're getting 44 gold per turn. I guess we can just plop down this garden. Yeah, sure. So we'll get a little bit of food from that. It won't be 7, but it will be 3. You're gonna do nothing. We'll see what happens to you after the next turn. So we've completed the Antiquity Age.
Strong trade came of strong relations, and Greece flourished because it chose its partners well.
So I'm assuming this is because I have the most in economics, or I got that last. It'd be nice if they kind of acknowledged which ones you do, like, and just add like economic and military or something like that. Okay, here we go. So we have rewards. We get legacy option, next economic attribute point, next age, cultural, diplomatic, scientific. So these are basically all the things we got. So we have 0 wild card, 2 science, 2 culture, 3 military, and 3 culture. So we go age rankings. So I had 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So I'm definitely leading the game. So I was the biggest contributor to all of those. So we'll move on to legacies. Yeah, I've got more than all of them combined. The military one's only because they attacked me. I wouldn't have cared about that. That's actually really funny. All right, view the Legends report. So we get a little bit of XP. I'm now level 5. I got a little XP for Napoleon. I think, is it specifically for this personality? Interesting. Culture attribute, no, plus 15% production towards buildings and wonders with great work slots. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what, if that's slotted or that's an option for later games. Anyway, we're transitioning to the next age. So we get to pick who we are. So first off, let's go over the ones that we can't be. So we have Songhai, Shawnee, Mongolia, Mahafat? I don't know how to say it. I feel bad, but I don't know how to pronounce most of these. Hawaii. Is it just Chola? Abbasid, I think. I don't know, I haven't heard most of these pronounced in a very long time, if at all. But we have our choices. So we have the Inca, because we got the multiple mountains. We have the Ming, because of all the economics that we got. We have the Norman, because of Napoleon. We have Spain because Napoleon campaigns in Spain. We only have 4 options compared to these, which is fine. So the Inca, just out of curiosity, we get +2 food and +1 production on mountain terrain. So it just makes mountains viable, I guess. Plus 30% to Machu Picchu. Inca and range units plus 1 movement and Norseman penalty from rough terrain, plus 1 conversation when attacking from rough terrain. A unique scout with plus 1 movement has increased side terrain, Norse mountains, rough terrain. Plus 6 food from the terrace farm. Agents not remove warehouse bonuses on a tile. Must be placed on a route terrain or just on a mountain. Okay, interesting. We have the Ming. Wait, what? Plus 50% science in the capital. That's kind of crazy. Minus 15 science per turn for each social policy, but not tradition slotted. Well, it's just minus 15, not 15%, which is interesting. And then we have plus 30% for questioning the Forbidden City. Ming unique infantry unit plus 4 combat strength and featureless tiles has range attacks. Main merchant civilians who establish trade route to import resources from a foreign settlement. And then we have the Ming Great Wall plus 5 culture plus 1 gold adjacent. Okay. Land units receive plus 1 movement when embarked, and land units adjacent to coast receive plus 5 combat strength. 30% towards the White Tower. We have the Chevalier, normal unit, plus 3 combat strength against slower units. Ooh, that works really well with Napoleon. Because Napoleon's whole thing... Can I actually see? I'd love to be able to see... I can change mementos? I had no mementos, so I can change them now. Oh, that's cool. Inscribed Sling Bullet, we get plus 1 military attribute point, plus 1 economic attribute point, plus 1 diplomatic attribute point, expansionist, cultural, scientific. 400 gold for every settlement returned in a peace deal. So if I take settlements and then I give them back in the peace deal, then I get a bunch of gold. See, that's actually really funny. And plus 1 gold culture per age for every army commander level. That's actually really good. So this is the second age. So that's a decent chunk of culture. So we're going to slot that one in. And then I think science is going to be really important. So I'm going to get the scientific attribute point. Cool. So we just finished Norman. Let's check out Spain. And this is the last one I can be, right? Yeah, Spain. So they get plus 15 gold towards converting a town or city or 30% in distant lands. And then we get plus 3% to scored. Spanish unique infantry unit has a higher combat strength. Adjacent units receive plus 3 strength against cavalry units. A great person with 1 charge can only be trained in cities with a wharf, and the specific conquistador receives each random. Each conquistador can only receive 1 stone encounter. Distant lands, cost increases per conquistador trained. Can always embark in ocean. Then we have the Plaza, which is the Spanish unique quarter. We get the Casa Consorte and a Casa in the same district, plus 2 gold in the settlement for every settlement in the distant lands. Oh, that's pretty good. We get plus 5 culture and plus 1 adjacency. So there is an issue though. I do have a lot of cities on my main territory, which means it's not going to be very easy for me to go settle multiple cities. So... Spanish unique gold building ages must be built in the homelands. Interesting. So you can't build the plaza in distant lands. Okay, so I'm gonna say the Inca aren't really an option for me. I don't really feel that they're good enough. The Ming, I'm gonna say no to. It kind of makes sense because we could assume that the crisis brought a bunch of the Chinese that we were previously fighting against and combined with our culture to give us the new the newer culture, but I don't really like it. The plus 50% science and capital is good, but I'm playing a little wider than that's good for. And I think the social policy, I want to be happy, so I want social policies. The Normans, this is intriguing. So we get a unique quarter, which is culture and happiness is important if we want it to. And this is gold. Yeah, I think we're gonna go Norman. We get plus 1 movement when embarked, and their unique unit gets plus 3 against slower units. And Napoleon, I wish I could see this. You know what? Let me see. Let me bring it up. I'm pretty sure I just get flat 1. Increase movement for all land units. Yeah, so I think that jives really well with the Chevalier. So, and then we get, when we found a new town, receives medieval walls in the city center when a new town is created, which is incredibly useful for instant defense in the foreign lands. And then the culture and the happiness is just great. So we're going to go Norman. I think that jives really well.
The winds rise, and the Normans cross the channel of history to seize the world for themselves and hold nothing back.
Okay. Welcome to the Exploration Age. New adventures across the sea await. The age brings many new opportunities. Explore the great ocean in search of distant lands. Your naval units can hear coastal water. Establish settlements in the distant lands. Meet new civilizations. Gather resources in your empire. Embrace religion by building a temple. With religion in place, you can train missionaries and spread your faith across the globe. So we want to build a temple. So begin. Yeah, we're kind of doing all of them. That's just the one that pops out. So, what happened here? A natural wonder redwood forest. We just discovered... because this is like a new game. Interesting. Confucius has confilled the world wonder gates. Did he complete it that turn? Harriet Tubman completed the wonder. A new civics tree, the Norman civics. And we went from neutral to hostile. We just go straight to hostile. We have minus 45. So previous age has issues, borders touching. Previous age and previous age borders touching. So who do I not want to go to war with? I do not want to go to war with her. I also have a decent amount of jade already. And can get more. Ooh, we got whales here. Cool. So it brings some new resources with new effects. So... with that in mind, there's a few things we need to do. We can choose our legacies. Let's just start with that. The exploration age has begun. Here you just had the legacies to carry forward based on milestone completed in the early age. Fully completing gives a golden age, while not completing any unlocks a dark age. You can only choose one golden age or dark age legacy, but any number of other legacies can be added as long as you have enough legacy points. So, select legacies based on the time each legacy has a point cost. Alright, so we have... so that's our golden age one, which is getting an infantry unit in every settlement you conquer. Last age, so we can make 4 settlements, so they'll get a medieval wall and an infantry unit instantly if I settle them there. That's interesting. We also have fealty, which is plus a +2 settlement limit, which I think is huge. We gain +1 militaristic attribute point or +1 expansionist attribute point. And the other golden age one we have here is all your cities from the previous age remain cities. This is huge. It gives me a ton of control compared to before. It kind of dampens my gold per turn potentially, but overall I think it's better considering I had a bunch of cities. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. So that's 2. That's my golden age. I can no longer select this, which means we're going to go ahead and grab fealty. I don't care too much about militaristic. I'd rather go expansionist because expansionist is more along the lines of getting more cities. Wonders you control get +1 culture and +1 happiness. That sounds lovely. Alternatively, I could get a diplomatic and cultural attribute point, but I feel the culture and happiness right off the bat is better. I'm not too sure because I'm not familiar enough with the game, but I feel that that's better. That leaves us with +5 gold for each trade route. Every trade route antiquity. Is this +20 gold per turn? Hold on. No clear answer. If it's just for 2 points, this seems ridiculous. I can't do it because I don't have a wild card. But if it's only 20 gold, it's a joke. So it must be 20 gold per turn. Well, we're going to gain an economic attribute point because it's all I have. And then we have 2 science. Plus 1 science for every codex and antiquity. So this is where we can get that. So it's plus 9 science per turn, or gain 1 scientific attribute point. I'm going to go ahead and grab the collector of knowledge. Plus 9 science seems like a pretty good deal. Now we have 2 free wildcards. We can change the capital. Harsa upgrades to a city and becomes the capital and is renamed Ruin. Oh, so we can decide which one of these. Okay, so only towns can become... Okay, hold on. That doesn't seem right. Parsa. Okay, so it's Parsa. So in order to become a new... They may have changed this. In order to become a new capital, it must have been a city. That makes sense. And I believe, because all of them become towns if you move your capital, then it still becomes a city. So your old capital became a city, your new capital remains a city. You'd lose the others if not for the economic... Yeah, the Silk Road's Golden Age. So this is good if... This is good if you want to keep multiple cities and don't have the Silk Road's Golden Age and went for a different Golden Age. But we don't need to do that because I'm keeping all of my cities. So given that my capital is technically larger, even though I think this city is better, this does have a bonus of being more centered in the entire area. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep it there. So we'll confirm legacies. Wait, I do? Wait, where'd I get a wild card from? Where'd that come from? I had 0 there. That's not what that's... Yeah, it's wild. Okay, well, we get plus 1. I can just continuously grab expansionist points. Oh, that's weird. It's not showing up. I'm not sure if that's a UI bug or what. But, let's go ahead and grab... I don't see... The problem is I don't know what's better. Do I want to go cultural or diplomatic? I feel like diplomatic. Or just go additional expansionist. You know, let's just go additional expansionist. We are going full on expansionist. All right, choose production. So here we have the stonecutter, which is ageless. We can get a good chunk of bonuses here. This will replace the blacksmith. The blacksmith, which, yeah, this just gives me a straight boost. That sounds pretty good. Is there anything else I would want to get? Not really. We did pretty well for ourselves. So we'll go ahead and get the thing that gives me the most science, because science I feel is going to be more important. So, yeah, plop you down there. So we're now overbuilding there. We have resource allocation. We now have different resources, some different resources, or resources that now do different things. And I don't know if it's... It looks so. We have... You weren't that before. Should probably work those horses. Interesting. Okay. So we have a heavy archer there. Swordsman here. Heavy archer, swordsman. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like it becomes a unique unit. It just becomes a unit, which is a huge bummer. But these guys all got upgraded, which is nice. And that's not what I wanted. Oh no, they're both over here. That's right. I feel like I lost units. Even though I don't think I was supposed to. Because there's 4, 5 there. 6. There's my new ship called the Cog. Okay. That's... I had 2 ships before. I feel like I lost units, even though I don't think I was supposed to. Oh well. Whatever. Alright, we can choose a technology. So, the ones that we want to get, we need to get astronomy and cartography in order to get them. So we have the wharf. This is actually, I think I'm going to go straight for the wharf because we can build a wharf. I can build it here, which means I might be able to start building actual buildings over here, which I feel is really important. So, all civilian support units may enter deep water. Yeah, we're going to get that. 9 turns. We got 68 science, which is great. Choose a civic. Piety, right? Because we want the temple. Allows creation of mission units in the settlement exploration happiness building can be purchased in towns. We want this first, so I'm probably going to buy that as soon as possible. So we'll grab that. So it looks like we gained a couple turns of gold. So we got our social policies available. We have our old ones. Plus 30% influence on initiating endeavors is better. And then... The reason I want that is because I don't want to fight anyone. We're good with our resource limit, but I want to settle new territory. I don't want to have to fight them. So we're pretty much set in terms of... Yeah, good. I can build units here. So I can confirm we can build units and the fishing keys. We can't really do anything on this side of the map because it's all blocked off. But we do have the east, so I'm going to focus on exploration on the east. We do have a bit of time before we get cartography, and I think cartography just says straight up, all civilian may enter deep ocean. Yeah. We can do it now, but we take damage, I believe. Here be dragons. The ocean is navigable but dangerous. Naval units traveling by sea will move slowly in deep ocean tiles and take damage if they end their turn there. Cartography will allow them to take this dangerous voyage. Shipbuilding remove the dangerous effect of the voyage and make it quicker. Okay. So we want to rush to shipbuilding. So if we look, that's going to probably be cartography and astronomy. Shipbuilding's all the way over here. Holy cow, that's way down there. So it does take a little while. I totally feel like we lost you. Oh, maybe only 2 was all we had. Alright. 2 melee, 2 archers are good enough for this part. Let's check the resource allocation. So... we still have our capital that hasn't changed its name. Let's see what all these do. So that's same, plus 3 production, homeland in the cities, plus 6% in distant lands, which I believe, like, the continent doesn't count. It's not exactly clear what constitutes as distant lands. Larassa? Settle nearby to collect treasure lands. I'm confused. Because I'm in... why is it saying that? Island treasure resource and island treasures. What does that mean? Huh. Alright. Anyway...